Hi, I'm Dr. Rasagna, dermatologist and aesthetic specialist at Akkineni Hospitals, Vijayawada. Today's discussion will cover important highlights. Please stay through and take note.
All right, welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're going to unpack a topic that honestly almost all of us deal with, yet very few of us actually understand. We're talking about dry skin. But we aren't going to just look at it as some annoying winter hassle. We're going to decode it as a truly fascinating biological puzzle. Because think about it. Your skin is your body's absolute first line of defense. And when it dries out, that defense is actively breaking down. So let me ask you something. You know when you get those rough, scaly patches on your arms or legs, do you just dismiss it as a minor aesthetic flaw? Most of us do, right? We just slap on some random lotion from the drugstore and go about our day. But treating it as just a cosmetic issue completely misses the biological reality of what's happening on a cellular level. You're actually looking at a compromised defense system. In the medical world, there's actually a specific name for this, xerosis cutis. And as the definition lays out, it represents a genuine physical impairment of your skin barrier. Specifically, it means your stratum corneum, which is the very outermost layer of your skin, is failing to hold on to adequate moisture. And when that happens, well, the consequences go way beyond a little flakiness. In severe cases, xerosis cutis leads to intense tightness, unbelievable itching, cracking, bleeding, and it leaves you wide open to secondary infections. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our clinical yet super actionable roadmap for today. 1. Why this is more than just cosmetic. 2. The skin barrier explained. 3. The main culprits of dry skin. 4. The 4 rules of treatment. And 5. When to seek professional help. Starting off with Section 1, more than just cosmetic. Understanding exactly who gets cirrhosis completely shifts our perspective on what it actually is. I mean, while it's nearly universal in older adults, especially folks over 70, it's actually a fundamental disease manifestation for a lot of other people. For instance, for patients with atopic dermatitis or eczema, cirrhosis isn't just a symptom. It is the baseline underlying problem that's actively driving their flare-ups. And for people managing chronic kidney disease, diabetes, or hypothyroidism, dry skin is a complex systemic issue. It demands serious management, not just a quick layer of scented lotion. Moving on to Section 2, the skin barrier explains. To really understand why those populations are so vulnerable, we kind of have to look under the microscope. And this brilliantly illustrates what's going on. Think of your stratum corneum as a literal brick wall. The bricks are your dead skin cells, which are officially called corneocytes. But obviously, a wall isn't just made of bricks, right? It needs mortar to hold everything together and seal the gaps. In your skin, that mortar is a highly specialized lipid matrix. Now, this mortar is incredibly complex. It's built out of ceramides, cholesterol, and free fatty acids. When this lipid matrix is perfectly intact, it acts as an absolute impenetrable shield. It locks the water safely inside your skin while simultaneously blocking out external irritants and allergens. But here's the really shocking part. This vital mortar is surprisingly delicate. Everyday habits like using harsh soaps, bathing in really hot water, or just living in dry air can easily and rapidly dissolve these crucial lipids, completely stripping away your armor. When that armor gets stripped away, we experience something called TEWL, transepidermal water loss. This is the exact scientific mechanism behind why your skin feels so agonizingly tight and dry. Without the lipid mortar there to trap it, the water literally just evaporates right out of your skin and into the air. This rapid evaporation leaves your stratum corneum super thin, brittle, and incredibly prone to damage. Which brings us to Section 3, culprits of dry skin. So, we have to ask, who or what is stealing our skin's mortar? Well, the triggers for this barrier breakdown are wildly diverse. On the environmental side, it could be something as simple as the low humidity from blasting the air conditioning, which is a huge factor in places like urban India. Or it could just be your love for really hot showers and harsh alkaline soaps. On the age-related front, as we get older, our sebaceous glands simply produce less sebum, and our natural ceramide levels just naturally drop off. And then, of course, you have medical conditions. This ranges from hypothyroidism, which actually reduces sweating, to chronic kidney disease, where uremic toxins build up and cause severe itching, all the way to really complex genetic disorders like ichthyosis. But hey, don't just blame your environment or your age. You might want to check inside your medicine cabinet, too. A ton of really common medications frequently induce xerosis as a side effect. If you're taking diuretics, retinoids, statins for your cholesterol, everyday antihistamines, or certain anti-cancer agents, the drugs themselves might actually be the underlying culprit that's breaking down your barrier.
All right, Section 4, 4 rules of treatment.
Knowing the culprits is only half the battle, right? How do we actually fight back? Well, the good news is Xerosis is highly treatable. Now, what's really interesting here is how moisturizers actually work in 3 entirely different ways. You've got occlusives, like petrolatum and shea butter. These literally form a physical, waterproof barrier on top of the skin to forcefully stop evaporation. Then you have emollients, like dimethicone, which basically act like putty, filling in the rough gaps between the skin cells to make everything smooth. Finally, you have humectants, like glycerol and urea, and these act like microscopic magnets pulling water into the skin. But listen, here is a crucial warning on humectants. If you're in a very low humidity environment, they can actually draw water out of your deep skin layers, making the whole thing worse. So, what's the ultimate moisturizer formula? If you're dealing with moderate to severe xerosis, you want a really thick cream or ointment that combines these superpowers. Look for an ingredients list that contains petrolatum, glycerin, and about 10% urea for the body. And just as importantly, you absolutely must avoid fragrances and artificial colors. Seriously, ditch them. Those are common sensitizers that are only going to irritate your already compromised barrier. But having the right moisturizer is totally useless if you're putting it on at the wrong time. This brings us to a magic number, 3, the 3-minute rule. Here is your ultimate insider secret, the soak and smear technique. You absolutely must apply your moisturizer within 3 minutes of getting out of the bath or shower while your skin is still damp. If you wait until your skin is totally dry a few hours later, that transepidermal water loss has already happened and the moisturizer is going to be way less effective. So let's zoom out a bit and look at the 4 fundamental principles of treatment here. Step 1, as we just discussed, is moisturizing correctly with that soak and smear technique. Step 2 is modifying your bathing habits. Step 3 is improving your environment, like maybe using a humidifier to keep your room sitting nicely between 40 and 60% humidity. And step 4 is absolutely vital. Treat the underlying cause. All the surface hydration in the world isn't going to be enough if you have an unmanaged thyroid issue, a zinc deficiency, or if you need to optimize your dialysis treatment. Actually, scratch that. I want to quickly jump back to step 2, modifying bathing habits. This is an absolute game changer. Normal healthy skin has a slightly acidic pH of about 5.5, but traditional soaps, they have a highly alkaline pH of 9 to 10. Every single time you use a traditional soap, you are blasting away your delicate lipid matrix. You've got to switch to Syndets, which stands for synthetic detergent bars. These are perfectly pH balanced right at 5.5. Keep your showers lukewarm, keep them under 10 minutes, and always, always pat dry. Never violently rub your skin with a towel. And finally, Section 5, when to seek help. Look, if you're perfectly consistent with these daily habits, your barrier really should repair itself. But sometimes surface habits simply aren't enough, and you need to know the red flags. If you have severe dry skin that just isn't responding to the right moisturizers, you need to see a dermatologist. If the itch is so bad that you're risking a secondary infection from scratching, or if you have painful, bleeding fissures, which actually carry a risk of cellulitis, do not wait. Go see a doctor. Furthermore, if you suspect an underlying condition like hypothyroidism or diabetes, you need professional blood tests. As highlighted in our source material, centers like Akkineni Hospitals offer expert assessment to track down these exact underlying causes and can give you personalized medical-grade recommendations. Which leaves us with this final thought for you to chew on. Take a hard look at your daily routine. The next time you reach for that random bottle of lotion, ask yourself this: are you just lazily treating a cosmetic symptom, or are you strategically and actively rebuilding your body's most critical barrier? The health of your skin's bricks and mortar depends entirely on your answer. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.